Come on, G. What's going on, guys? Welcome to your Rants Red Talk, where we discuss all the topics you lot send through to me online, bruv. This week, I took it from Instagram. I took it from Insta because Insta's been popping. I done an Instagram live where I was just chilling in the morning, guys. Loads of people watching. The YouTube streams having up to 400 people watching. Big up everyone that's watching the YouTube streams as well. I think it's important that everyone kind of keeps everyone sane at this point, bruv, because being housebound is not a joke, innit? I'm going to film Flex and Rant show later on, and then I'm back in my yard, bruv. Do you know what I mean? An hour in the studio, then I'm back in my yard. A lot of people are stuck in the house. Make sure you call your friends as well, just to see how they are, bruv, because obviously people are like communicating WhatsApp and this, that, and the other, but call your friends, innit? Or call your family if you're close to them. See what's going on, because a lot of people are stressed right now, man. Like, financially, it could be a hard time for a lot of people, innit? So a lot of people are stressing. So just make sure your people are cool, because this period is going to lead to a lot of people losing their jobs, losing money, and a lot of depression and that, you get me? So just make sure the people around you are cool, you get me? And also, in the comment section, if there's any new albums that have come out, yeah, that you think people might care about, or that, drop that in there, bruv. Some things to do, innit? People need music to listen to, some shows to watch on Netflix. If you want to recommend some shows to watch on Netflix, not just for me, but for everyone else. I'm not going to be watching too many shows because I'm still going to be working. But, yo, man, leave it in the comment section for everyone else, bruv, to have a look, man. Just recommend some shows, some new music, whatever. Anyway, man's got that out the way. I've got the peppermint tea. Hold tight, Tigger, as well, fam. That's my mood, bruv, for Quarantino, bruv. Tigger, man's going to keep the energy up. You get me? We're going to enjoy this. We're going to get through this, and then we're going to get back on the ting. All right. First one. Let me see now. Yeah, okay. All right. First one is from, it says, Zariab_17. Rants, do you think Wan-Bissaka is the best right back in the world? I think that he's the best one-on-one defender in the world, bruv. When I mean by that, as I mean, this guy loves defending. It's that simple. Like, he fancies himself against any player in the world one-on-one. So, from a defensive standpoint, he is. The reason why I picked this question as well, yeah, is because a lot of people like to say, oh, so-and-so is the best. So-and-so is the best, but what parameters do you use? Because for me, yeah, to be the best right back in the world, you have to be as effective going forward as you are defensively. Even if, let me put it this way. Imagine you're a 9 out of 10 defensively. Wan-Bissaka is probably a 10 out of 10 defensively, but attacking-wise, he's probably a 7. Do you know what I mean? Or if I'm being harsh, maybe a 6.5. Because I don't really fancy him to toast any left back, bruv. I don't, innit? And with his crossing, I'm probably less than 60% sure that he's going to put in a good cross. So we could argue that, like, say he's a 5.5 out of 10 going forward, meaning that 5.5, 55% of the time I might expect a decent cross from him. I'd rather have a right back that's 8 out of 10 going forward and 8 out of 10 defensively, if that makes sense. So even for me, Trent defensively ain't an 8 out of 10. He's probably like a 6.5, 7 max. Do you know what I mean? But going forward, Trent's probably a 9 in terms of his delivery. So it's one of them ones where it's just what you like, innit? In terms of defending, Wan-Bissaka is the best defending right back in world football, I believe, innit? But going forward, I think there's arguments for a few right backs being a bit more effective than him. I would even argue that in his prime, even a Seamus Coleman was probably more effective going forward than a Wan-Bissaka, bruv. And that's not a disrespect to Aaron. I just think that he doesn't look comfortable going forward as he does going backwards. That will improve over time, and then I think he can become the best right back in the world, period. But right now, do you know what I mean? Like, I think he has a lot of stuff attacking wise not in his game that I can see why certain men don't rate him as highly as they should. But for me, he's definitely up there. He's not, I wouldn't say he's number one just based off the attacking, but I'd say that he has to be top three in anyone's list. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And also, if you're going to say yes he is or no he isn't, give a reason, please. You know what I mean? I don't like when people say, oh, this is this, period. Nah, bruv, like, show you're working out, bruv. That's what they say in maths, innit? Show you're working out. How did you get to this answer, bruv? A lot of the time, people get to an answer, they can't show they're working out because they're just winging it, bruv. All right. Omori92 says, do you think Bruno can aid Oli in creating patterns of play within the team? I don't think a player can create patterns of play because every player needs a supply line, innit? It's just like the London Underground map. Everything's got to connect. You know them ones. Somehow there needs to be connections. Right now, United just have 11 trains, blood. The only connection that we're seeing frequently now is Fred and Bruno. They're finding each other. Sometimes Bruno, Martial, innit? We need a connection throughout the whole team. That comes from the coach, innit? I don't think a player can bring that because a player can't, like, Bruno ain't got mind control. He's not Professor X. You know the ones. He can't just make every man be cohesive and pass to a red shirt. Right now, there's too many breakages in the line. So it's something that needs to be improved on in the training ground. And to be fair, we still don't have a style of play after a year plus of Oli coaching. So in another year's time, I don't expect us to have one either. I still expect our football to be as good as the players that are out on the pitch. And even then, sometimes for the players we have out on the pitch, the football is not good enough. So ultimately, that comes down to coaching, guys. Let me know what you think about that. But my opinion on the lack of coaching will not change. I've seen enough from Sheffield United, Leeds United, Bournemouth even. Teams that have identities. They might not have better players than us, but they have identities and you know what you're going to get with them. Leicester, Brendan has an identity. Most teams in the Premier League have identities apart from us, really. Like, even when you go to, like, a Watford, you know what you're going to get from them. Even if it's just blood and guts and hard work and heart, you know what you're going to get. With Manchester United, you don't quite know. Sometimes you get aggressive performances. Sometimes you get defensive, quote-unquote, masterclasses, like you could say beating City was. When City had, like, 65% of the ball. Yeah, I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get. Mr. Maxson, any coincidence we get into form when Lingard and Andreas aren't playing? To put it simple, no. It's not. Bruv, especially that bloody Pereira geezer, bruv. He's so crap. At least Lingard gives you work rate, innit? I don't know what Pereira gives you apart from a yellow card, innit? I think he's diabolical. Diabolical. But it's not a coincidence. As I said, yeah, like, if Ollie's got better players, the results will improve, innit? But ultimately, I'm looking at him. Can he get us back to where we belong, which is top of the tree and competing for honours across the board? I don't believe he can do that. I think his ceiling is just standing in the dugout, yeah, with man running around and they're just doing what they want to do. That's why Saeed calls him Oli Gunner Freestyle. I genuinely don't believe that he has it in him to improve players. Do you know what I mean? Like, other than his man management, I reckon he probably gives them a pat on the shoulder and the guys really like him and he's probably a decent person, because Oli seems like a decent person. So these players want to do well for him. But that's not coaching, innit? Man management is just one side of the game. But man management is not coaching. If you're a man manager, then you need to bring in good coaches, innit? Right now, Oli's not a good coach and he doesn't have good coaches at the club. So even if he is a good man manager, bruv, I wouldn't be averse Oli staying if he brought in a good coach that knew what he was doing. Go bring in one of them young German coaches or something like that. These men that have got shit together. If you want to bring in a young brother like that and you just stick to hugging players and shaking their hands and calling them Rashi, that's fine, bro. Bring in a coach. Then I'll be happy for you to stay. But right now, we need a coach at the club, innit? Because we've got good players with no direction, guys. All right, let me know what you think about that. BC_Andy_ Cheg or Cheek, would Thomas Lamar be a good substitute if we don't get Sancho? Bro, Thomas Lamar, yeah, is a player that I like a lot, bruv. A lot, a lot. Like, when he went to Atletico, I was upset because I wanted him. Bow-footed, great technical ability, good close control. I see him more of a one-matter type, in the whole type player that can play out wide. Do you know what I mean? But Lamar is very comfortable inside as well, bruv. I don't think that he's a good replacement for Jadon Sancho. I think that Leon Bailey would be a good replacement for Jadon Sancho if we don't get him, for instance. But I think that he's moving from Dortmund, and I think it would be a massive L if we don't. But Leon Bailey, you man seeing, yeah, in my career mode or my Masters League with United, man signed Bailey. And yeah, bruv, I like him. Young, pacey, brave, wide player, innit? Playing in the same league. And I just think, yeah, bruv, he's a yard man. You get me? Come to Manchester United, you got Sterling down the road. That's your guy. You get me? It's calm. I think that Leon Bailey would be a shout, guys. Especially now Ziyech's not even available either. So, you, man, let me know. What do you think of Thomas Lamar? Do you think that he'll be a good option if we don't get Jadon Sancho? Or, if not, who do you think will be another good option if we don't get Jadon? I am still confident that we will get him. But, what do you think? K_Bakala, how would you rate Tony's season? As I think he has had a better season than Rashford. I'd rate Tony's season for Tony. I think this is an 8 out of 10 season at the moment. Like, Tony is on course to scoring like what? Well, he was on course to scoring over 20 goals in all comps, bruv, and getting double figures assists. Come on, bro. For a striker that hasn't played all season consistently because he's had niggles, he's had a very good season. Like, on paper, he's actually had a better season than Rashford so far. He has, because from open play, he's got more goals, and I think he's got more assists as well. So, it's funny how perception can play such a key role in football, because everyone was going on saying, oh yeah, like Rashford's been our best player and Rashford should get player of the season and all these things, yeah. But what a lot of people forget is when he was scoring loads of penalties, I think he scored like eight pens or something like that, or maybe 9. There were times where he was playing badly and scoring pens and we were drawing 1-1, or scoring pens and we were winning 1-0. We are 1-0 United. And he wasn't playing well. He was throwing up like 2 out of 10 performances, yeah, and getting goals. And people were just literally looking at the stats, but not looking at the overall performances. In terms of overall performances, Rashford only played well for probably like, I'd say at a stretch 3 months. And I don't even think he was playing consistently well for the 3 months, but he was scoring. Like, even the game against Chelsea when he ripped that free kick, bro, he didn't have a great game. But it was a wavy free kick, and everyone will remember that Ronaldo-esque free kick. So I think people see what they want to see, innit? Their bias towards Marcus, yeah, means that they're going to overlook the fact that he wasn't playing well for a large portion of that. It's the same with McTominay for a certain thing. Like, Fred has been playing better than McTominay for some time. When McTominay got injured before, he was actually playing badly before he got injured. And people will forget that because they're like, oh, we missed McTominay. But, bruv, when he was playing rubbish. So I think it's just like people naturally will have rose-tinted glasses for players that they favour, innit? But right now, there's minimal difference between Martial and Rashford's seasons. I think Martial, in terms of his link play, and that's underrated. People don't give him enough credit for that, because if he doesn't score or assist, people say that he's had a quiet game, when actually he is effective. But equally, he's had some really quiet games where he hasn't been involved and he hasn't scored. Do you know what I mean? Like, players have bad games. So I think that if people are going on like Rashford's having a 9 out of 10 season, almost a 10 out of 10 season. I don't think so. I think that Rashford's probably having an 8 out of 10 season in terms of his ability and what he should be doing consistently. So I'd say that Martial and Rashford are both having 8 out of 10 seasons, guys. Let me know, how would you rate their seasons out of 10? I still think there's gears to go up from both of them. I think they can both add consistency to the levels that they have shown. Because if you look at the European game, yeah, I think it was Bruges. If Martial doesn't score that goal, we lose that game. And there's been instances like that. Now, even the Man City game, yeah, Martial's goal, that turned the tide in the game. If we didn't score when we scored, it could have been a very different type of game. So he's done some important things as well. And last but not least, Curly Johnson, Auba to United. Just rumours, but what's your thoughts? For me personally, Aubameyang to United don't make no sense. I like the fact that he's a goal scorer, but if Oli was to buy Aubameyang, it shows me that he don't have a philosophy, he don't have an ethos, he doesn't know exactly what he wants to do, innit? Manchester United are not going to play two up front. We've seen, yeah, from Arteta coming in and playing Aubameyang on the left, that he doesn't believe Aubameyang can play down the middle by himself. I don't believe he can either. I don't think he's got the attributes. I don't think he holds the ball well. I don't think he links play well. I think he's just a finisher. I think Aubameyang needs to play in a 2 with someone off him, or he needs to play from wide coming inside. He'll still score goals, innit? And I don't think that we're bringing in Aubameyang for him to play on the left wing or the right wing. I think that'd be a waste for him. So I just don't see the point in buying Aubameyang, to be honest. It's not that I don't rate him. I just don't rate his overall game. In terms of finishers in the Premier League, he has to be up there. He has to be. I don't think man can argue that. You know what I mean? He's a goal scorer, bruv. I think since he's joined Arsenal, I don't think anyone scored more goals in the Premier League. I could be wrong, but I read something of that ilk. It could have been, yeah, it could have been something of that ilk. It could have been slightly different, but I'm pretty sure that that's what I read. And if that's the case, doesn't surprise me. The guy's a shooter, innit? Like him or not, yeah, he's got a 6-year-old haircut and he does front flips to celebrate equalisers against Norwich and that. But he's a shooter, innit? So personally, it wouldn't be like the Van Persie thing. Van Persie was coming into a team that was already built, already settled, and he was the final piece in the jigsaw. I think Manchester United have so much building to do on top of what they've already got. I don't think Aubameyang makes us a million times better. I don't. I'd rather get Jadon, fam. Because man, I got Greenwood, man, I got Rashford, man, I got Martial that can all play up front, innit? So I don't think it's super urgent. Let me know what you think about the Aubameyang rumours. I just think they're rumours and Aubameyang will sign a new deal and he just wants an increase in salary. But would you, man, take him? Let me know why you would take him in the comments below. And that was your Rants Red Talk, guys. Always enjoy doing it for you guys as usual. I'm about to hit the live streams, play some Pez with you guys. So I'll catch you for the next Rants Red Talk, which will be on Thursday. Flex and Rant Show Tuesday. Total Football on Wednesday. And then Friday we'll do something else. But big up for tuning in, guys. And stay safe and that. Keep your hands clean. And yeah, man, keep your hearts clean as well, boy. It's going to be a long slog in a bit.